Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at Sobolewo. Now, if I pronounce that wrong, don't blame me, blame Google Translate. But before we get to the map, this video is brought to you by Chasey Dog and Peter Does Farming. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Sobolewo map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let me read you some of the description. Welcome to the village of Sobolewo, which reflects the area of central Poland. At this map, you'll find two villages with two farms located at each. Well, I should say one farm located at each, total of two over the whole map. One small pigsty, and that's the starting farm, and the other larger for cows. You can sell the products you produce at 5 different selling points, as well as the train station, or process them into 2 different productions. There are 158 fields purchasable on the map. They average in size from 1 to 2 hectares. There's 1 viable forest, 2 fire hydrants, and 5 ponds where you can draw water. And this map is making use of the seasonal growth calendar. Now, while the map is 274 megabytes in size, there are 5 required mods. If you factor in those 5 required mods, we're looking at a total download size of 361 megabytes. The required mods include the elegant farmhouse, garage 18 by 7, shed with garage, machine storage, and the modern cow barn and garage pack. Now, once you have everything downloaded and into your mod folder, you're going to fire up the map, and this is exactly where you're going to start here at our pig farm. If we pull up the PDA, you can see our pig farm is located in the westernmost village, and then we have a single road that's going to run to the east. That's going to connect us over here to our secondary village and farmland ID 64. This is going to be the second player farm, the cow farm, and we can buy that for $802,032. Now, when I loaded this map up, I did select to own the starting farm, and as such, I do own farmland ID 159. That is, as I mentioned, the pig farm, and you can buy that if you do happen to select that you wish to start not owning any farmland for just $36,000. Now, in addition to 159, we also own farmland ID 14, farmland ID 133, 136, and 135. There is no biogas plant pre-placed on this map, so you don't have to worry about that. And we have a train sell point up here to the extreme north. We do have all the standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 25 available on this particular map. As the description said, we do have our standard FS25 crop counter also available to us on this map. We do not start out with any pigs or cows at either farm if we do own the cow farm, so we don't have to worry about feeding those animals out at the get-go. We do have contracts available on this map. I have seen in the various times that I've loaded this map up ahead of this recording, I have seen dead wood contracts and rock crushing contracts as well. So we do have all 3 contract types that have been added to FS25 available on this map. With respect to production chains, we have a carpentry and sawmill pre-placed on this map. There are none that we own at the start. And with respect to our sell points, I counted 8 sell points. The map author gave us 5 listed. So I'm going to run with my count. So we're going to have about 8 different sell points on the map, including several places to sell our grain, as well as other things that we can produce, and of course the train sell point. With respect to our starting fleet, regardless of how you start this map, selecting to own the farm or not, you will have your starting fleet available to us, and that is going to include the Challenger MT 635 tractor, FarmTech EDK 650 trailer, the Horsch Credo 3, and the Horsch Versa. So the Credo 3 is a power harrow, and the Versa is a seeder, and those are typically paired together. We've got the John Deere 3650 tractor. We have the Crossmax 300 cultivator. We also have the Eco Cultivator 300. We have the Massey Ferguson 8570 harvester, header, and grain header trailer. We also own the Husqvarna 550 XP chainsaw. And while this map does list having 25 collectibles, we actually do not have 25 collectibles on this map. I do believe that that is a kind of residual of having the collectibles XML still listed in the map file from when this was, I believe, no, this wouldn't be, well, I would have thought this would have been Sri Lanka, but maybe not. But at any rate, I feel that the collectibles are kind of being residual here as a result of the starting map that this was made from. We do have a gate that we can go and get into our farm. And I can tell you that in build mode, we do have the ability to clear out all of the buildings at both farms. And we also have the ability to clear out the decorative areas. So if we just cursor over, like, let's say, the fence here, you see lots of stuff light up. Well, all of that is going to be what we can sell as far as the decoration. We're not going to go ahead and do that now, but I do want to point that out. We can pretty much clear everything out at either farm if we just want to start fresh. To our left, we have our wardrobe and sleep trigger at our farmhouse. To our right, we have our standard farm silo with our dump and fill point. Walter is just going to hang out here, staring at you constantly, just kind of freaking you out. At any rate, we've got our trailer. We do have some storage for additional machinery and vehicles. And then inside here, we do have a fuel tank. Further down, we have our pig area. So we have our food and straw trigger. We have our pig drop-off. 25 pigs can be stored in this building. And then we have a slurry point around the back. We've got another small machine shed located here as well. And that is pretty much our starting farm area. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump over here to the cow farm. Of course, we will need to purchase the cow farm before we can make use of it. So let me go ahead and do that. And we'll come back and we'll kind of just check out this area. So again, we started over here to the west at our pig area. If we were to drive over there, we have a road that just kind of takes a little jag here and there and then winds up over here to a northwest road. And then that's where we are with our cow farm. We have two gates that'll kind of take us into here on either side of our farmhouse. Let's go ahead and make our way over here to the farmhouse first. This is a farmhouse which we can enter, but we don't actually have to enter the farmhouse in order to get to our wardrobe trigger or our sleep trigger. They're both positioned outside the building. But if you want to kind of meander around the farmhouse, you can come in here at the side door. The front door where the double doors are, well, only one door opens up, which does make it a little difficult in order to get inside the farmhouse. We do have a nice area here where we have some machine storage. And then we have our cow farm. So we have our cow barn. We have our milk trigger. Inside here we have our food and straw. We have a silo for storing mineral feed or seeds. We have another fuel tank. And then around the back of our cow barn, we're going to find a pull-through silage bunker. We're going to find our farm silo. We're going to be able to purchase our cows right here around the back. And this building is going to hold a total of 200. We also here at the back have a slurry point and our manure heap. And like I said, everything at both farms can be sold. So if you want to clear out this area, including clear out all the decorations and kind of start fresh, you do have that ability. Speaking of build mode, since we do have some required mods, well, we are going to find that there are some custom buildings here in build mode, specifically under sheds. We're going to find some of those. And then we're also going to find our farmhouse here under farmhouses. The elegant farmhouse. We have standard factories, greenhouses, and such. We do have a custom cow building that we can place. Required mod is going to provide that for us. And then with respect to our painting and ground texturing, we do have a fairly standard listing of ground textures that we can put down, as well as fairly standard trees and plants and shrubbery. Let's get a little bit of altitude here. We are over at the pig farm, or not the pig farm, the cow farm, and that's going to be located right here. And if we just make our way to the west on this road, we're going to find our way over here to the pig farm, located right here. Now you may have noticed that there are a few instances where we do have some utility poles that cross through the fields or cross between fields. These utility poles do have collisions. Now, just on the offset that maybe, just maybe, this map is set up very similar to how a recent Polish map was set up, where we could sell the collisions on the utility poles. That is not the case. So even if you own the land that these poles are located on, they are not your property, and you can't sell them, you can't get rid of them, and sadly you also can't get rid of the collisions, a feature that I hope to see make its way into several other maps in the near future. So as far as sell points go, with respect to our pig farm, our starting pig farm, and that's what we're going to use kind of as a form of basis to get our bearings here. If we make our way to the north, well, we're going to find the animal dealer. It's just located right here. So we're going to find Kate here, and we're going to be able to purchase our animals. And then we also have a bale sell point located here, as well as buy point for slurry and a buy point to purchase manure. Just to the east of the animal dealer, we have our sawmill. So here we're going to be dropping off our logs and our sell point for wood. We have our pallet spawn point, and we have our interactive icon. And then right next to that, we have a little structure. This is going to be our biomass heating plant sell point. So we can sell logs or wood chips here as well. Just across the street from that, we have a dairy sell point. And we also have a grain sell point. And then we also have a lime fill point. So real quick, since a lot of this stuff is real close together, we have our pig farm. We have the animal dealer. We have the sawmill and biomass heating plant. And then we have our lime station. We have our grain mill. We have our farmer's market and our dairy, all located right here. And then we have a buyable warehouse trigger, also located here. So we're going to be able to buy pallets of usable products and finished goods here as well. So pretty much lots of stuff going on here. The dairy sell point, the farmer's market sell point. And then let's make our way kind of over to the other village. Here we have field 14 that we own at the start. A little bit of a AI cow pasture here, just to give the map a little bit of life. Now over here at this other village, we have our good buddy Ben, just kind of hanging out. Here we have our carpentry. We have another lime sell point and another grain sell point here as well. So we have our interactive trigger for our carpentry. We have our drop-off point. We have our pallet spawn point. We have our vehicle shop. So let's go ahead and pick up a side-by-side and just see where things are going to spawn. So a pretty small area for your vehicles and implements to spawn here. This is going to be our dealer maintenance trigger, no doubt. So you will need to buy your machinery and get it out of the shop yard in pretty quick order. And we've got a fairly narrow way to get out of the shop yard as well. So this is not going to be a map for super big machinery. I'm saying this really probably is a map. It's more intended for smaller machines to medium machines at best. We have another sell point located right here where Ben is located. That's going to be our supermarket. And then right across the street, as we've already seen, we have our cow farm. Now to the north, we have this area over here to the left. Okay, right beside field 57. And when I was just first looking around the map, I saw this and I thought, oh, this would be really cool as a buyable yard that's like, you know, under construction. And we buy it, the blockades go away, then we can level this out, we can get rid of these humps, we can fill in these holes, and do whatever we want with it. Sadly, this isn't buyable land. Okay, so we can't buy this. It would have been really nice if we could have purchased this, but it's not buyable. But this would be one point where we could draw water from if we had access to it. Continuing north along this north-south road, we're going to come up here to the train tracks. And here at the train tracks, we have our transfer silo to move products to or from the trailer. So we have a dump and fill point. And then we have our dump and fill point here for the train. And we do have a rent train trigger here as well, in order to rent the train and then eventually sell the products at the Zielonka sell point. And folks, that's pretty much the map. There's one other thing that I want to show you down here beside one of these large ponds. That is going to be our stone crusher in order to sell stones. But you can see the field layout here. It's very kind of typical for a Polish style map. And then, like I said, we have these utility poles or towers. Now the poles had collisions and the towers do as well. A lot of these fields could be easily merged together. And I do like the kind of rolling nature of the fields. Give you a little bit of variability. Everything isn't just all flat. Here we have the stone crusher. The last various thing that we want to show here on this particular map. I'd love to know what your all's thoughts are down in the comments below with respect to Sobolewo. Again, this is my attempt to pronounce it based on Google Translate. So if you've got a problem with the pronunciation, don't take it up with me. Take it up with Google. Until next time, happy farming.